Sure, absolutely. I think one of the most humbling parts of this litigation is to recognize for how long the criminal bar has been fighting this issue, both from the defense side, representing trafficking victims that have been charged with prostitution or other crimes, and the district attorney's fight in trying to find solutions for this problem. It is also very apparent how there is a monster opportunity for lawyers across the board, not just criminal defense lawyers, not just DAs, but anywhere from an immigration lawyer to an appellate lawyer to civil lawyers to actually step in and actually solve this fight and actually make a dent in sex trafficking in Texas. A lot of people might be intimidated by talking to a sex trafficking victim. That's fine. You know, there's individuals and there's lawyers that are able to handle the communications between a sex trafficking victim. But I can tell you that there is a significant role to fight this all the way from any type of practice of law. From the immigration standpoint, we know that the undocumented population is disproportionately targeted for sex trafficking victims. One of the things that we've really struggled with in this litigation as we got into it was that we expected to have quite a bit of undocumented client base because we know the statistics show the disproportionate effect that it's had on that community. But we haven't. And we believe that some of that has to do a lot with the fact that maybe civil trial lawyers aren't the best type to reach out to the undocumented community or work with them or empower them to reach out. But the immigration lawyers are. And I think it's important for an immigration lawyer to be looking at their cases and to be understanding what human trafficking might be going on in their docket and not just say, I'm here to try and get you a card, right? But to actually step up and take a look at where trafficking might be being affected and then reach out to us and let us know. We know that the appellate lawyers, since this is a case of first impression, that it's going to be heavy appellate work. We have put together an appellate dream team, but I encourage appellate lawyers out there to reach out not only to civil lawyers that are handling these cases, but to a lot of the pro bono groups that are working with this, because almost every one of our motions is going to go up. And so it really is an opportunity for a multidisciplinary legal approach to fighting trafficking. Sure, I definitely encourage any lawyer in the community to stop for a second. You know, sometimes we get so busy with our practices and what we're doing to, whether it's to make overhead or get to the next hearing, that sometimes we don't realize that there's opportunity for development and growth, both in the law and as well as helping our communities. I am continued to be surprised and shocked at to how pervasive human trafficking and sex trafficking is here in Texas. Again, I'll admit it wasn't naive, it was ignorance as to what human trafficking really is. And it wasn't until another lawyer tapped me on my shoulder and said, hey, take a look at this. You know, you're handling cases and trying cases for civil justice. What about this? And here we are with something that is basically being done by scratch. And so I encourage my colleagues and my fellow members of the Texas Bar to look around, look where you might be able to help with this problem, because I truly believe that this is going to be an issue that's solved within the courts. And this is going to be an issue that at least my generation of lawyers and the State Bar of Texas and the members of the State Bar of Texas are really going to be the instigators of change worldwide. One of the things is, while I encourage everybody to step up and get involved and to do what you can to affect human trafficking, I think it's important that we do so cautiously. When you want to make change and you want to participate, understand that when you file a case, it has ramifications, especially in a tort this new, especially in cases of first impression. My team, we came together and we said, if this is something that we were going to do, we were going to do it all out, top notch, best that we can put on. And that involves quite a bit of effort. And so we want to ensure that when cases are filed, that it's done so with individuals or teams of lawyers that are able to see the case through and to ensure that it's done properly. We are not asking for favors from any judges. We're just trying to put the best work product forward so that we can support the legislature's work and make sure that it gets across the finish line. I will say, in closing, that I've been very, very fortunate in my career as a plaintiff trial lawyer. And we have assembled a team of lawyers that is willing to take this fight as far as we need to in order to stand up for these survivors.